Having crossed over the Alps, Hannibal begins a victory march through northern Italy. The Romans suffer one defeat after another. Hannibal uses cunning and vicious tactics to repeatedly ambush his enemy. He exploits the element of surprise and his troops' flexibility.
Hannibal won the major battles by relying predominantly on his mobile forces, not just on his phalanx of infantry.
Dark-skinned Numidian cavalrymen, Spanish Celts, Greeks in heavy armour, Gauls, and a particularly fierce group of warriors from the Balearic Islands who entered battle with bast fibre slingers. This weapon is fatally precise. The Carthaginians are battle-weary, but they can expect no help. This leaves only one option: be more clever than the enemy. The Romans, on the other hand, rely on sheer numbers. They bombard the Carthaginians with waves of fresh legions. Their clashes culminate in the Battle of Cannae, still taught as the hallmark example of encirclement warfare at military academies. Despite the Romans' superior numbers, Hannibal routs them with his tactics. 1/3 of Rome's available military manpower is annihilated. It looks as if Hannibal cannot be stopped. But suddenly, history reshuffles the cards. The Roman Senate appoints Scipio as general. He has a plan to defeat Hannibal. Scipio ignores Hannibal and his troops in Italy, occupying Carthage's Iberian colonies, whose silver mines provide the lifeblood of Hannibal and his troops. A package arrives at the Carthaginian camp for Hannibal containing his brother's head, a sign that the Romans are now calling the shots. Scipio has landed in North Africa. His army is a day's march from Carthage. Suddenly, Carthage itself is at risk. Hannibal now wishes to negotiate, but Scipio declines. The decisive clash takes place on the battlefield at Zama. This time, the Romans employ wiser tactics. After so many victories, Hannibal pays for his only defeat with Carthage. Hannibal flees, spending 20 years on the run, only to take his own life far from his homeland, from which he was banished. The victory over Carthage is the beginning of Rome's ascent to world dominance. While Scipio spared the North African city, his political successors want revenge. Almost 40 years after Hannibal's death, Rome declares war on Carthage once again. When the bloody massacre is over, nothing is left but absolute destruction. A terrible irony of history, the fall of the Carthaginian Empire, a result of Hannibal's conquests.